What's up guys, it's Adrian and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm actually gonna do something really crazy. I'm going to give you guys 1 hour of my music mastery course. And this is something I spent months building. I literally spent over 6 months putting so much detail into this that it's crazy that I'm even thinking about giving it to you guys for free. However, that's what I'm gonna do because I want to add as much value to you guys as possible. And literally all I ask in return from you guys is to like this video, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And also share this to your network. There's tons of artists out there that will really find value from this, so go and share this. Now here's the thing, this is only part 1 of my music mastery course. I was looking over it and I was like, this is way too much value to give out for free. But what I will do is I will release part 2 of my course if you guys get me to 1,000 comments. If you guys get it to 1,000 comments, I'll release part 2 of the course. Hey guys, it's Adrian. Congratulations and welcome to the Music Mastery course. I want to be the first to thank you for investing in yourself because this is the first step in changing the trajectory of your music career. Now, I get DMs and messages every single day from artists asking for feedback, for advice, for help, and they all are super passionate about what it is that they do, but they don't know how to get the necessary exposure they need to be successful in the music industry. Now, this may or may not be you right now, but by taking this step, you're getting one step closer to whatever your goals are in music. And trust me, I've been there. I used to do whatever it takes to get the right exposure for my music. I used to play gigs on weekends for free, basically every single weekend, in hopes that I would get exposure, but I got no return from that. I even sent my music to record label hoping that they would get me the exposure that I wanted to. But some of the record labels didn't respond back to me for months later. And the tracks that I did sign to label, I was able to outperform them by a ton. And they barely got me any streams, any downloads, or any plays on any of my music. But then, just like you, I started investing in myself. I went all in on music marketing. I started spending thousands of dollars learning this, testing it, failing at it, improving at it. And as a result, I started to see huge growth. So what I'm gonna show you is the strategies that I've learned over the course of the years of working with tons of artists on the agency side. I've been doing marketing and digital marketing and running ads and growing other artists for years. So you're gonna be able to learn these exact techniques so you can do these kind of stuff on your own as well. So you're gonna be able to take control of your music career. You won't need any sort of marketing agency, any sort of manager, any sort of record label to push your music because you're gonna be able to do it all yourself. So here's what you're gonna get from this. We're gonna go over strategy. We're gonna go over strategy because strategy rarely changes. Tactics, on the other hand, changes all the time. So we're gonna be mostly focused on strategy. So I'm gonna keep you guys up to date on exactly the best strategy and also which tactics actually work to help push those strategies further a lot faster. Second, we're gonna go over how to build a massive fan base on multiple platforms. And then last, we're gonna go over how to make the most money from your music. It doesn't matter what level you're at. You can start making money from your music now. So you're gonna get the most value from this course if you take this seriously. So take this seriously, take notes, pay attention, and watch the videos in orders. I know you're gonna want to skip around, but the course is gonna be built in a structure that you need to follow it. So watch everything in order. And last, make sure you're taking notes and implementing right away. So everything we go through is going to be building on top of each other. So make sure you're implementing as we go through it. You're taking notes, you're paying attention, even put away your phone and take this very seriously. because this is going to change everything for you. This is going to be how you're going to master the music marketing game and grow yourself as an artist. And this has been working for tons of artists that I work with and manage and do digital marketing for. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to show you guys everything. So before we begin, I want to go over course breakdown and how all of this would work. We're going to go through all of this in phases. There's going to be about 6 or 7 phases where you're going to go through all the modules, learn how to do each of them. And again, they all build on each other. So we're going to go through them one by one and then connect it all together in the end. This is going to be a full picture strategy. And I'm going to show you guys that really soon. But before we do that, I have a Facebook group to support everyone in this course. So if you have not already, go join that group. I'm also going to have downloadable content in a lot of the modules and under a lot of the videos to help you understand better the concept and show you guys step by step how to do a lot of the things that I'm instructing you guys to do. Again, this is going to be a bunch of work from your end, so make sure you guys are ready to dive into this because it will change everything for you guys. So remember how I spoke about strategy versus tactics, how we're going to be focused a lot on strategy, and that's because strategy is the plan. Most artists do not have a plan. They don't have goals. They don't have any sort of guideline or path to reaching or accomplishing their goals. So we're gonna focus a lot on strategy to help structure a path and how to get there and how to achieve these goals. So again, strategy is the plan and tactics is the how. For example, say you want to perform on a big stage in front of thousands of people, right? So you have the goal, so now we have to create a strategy on how to accomplish that. So the strategy is the plan. So the tactics is what actually needs to happen to achieve these goals. I'll show you guys what I mean. So this is the framework we're gonna really be following throughout this course. There's gonna be 6 levers. I call this the 7 levers of growth, you being one of the levers. So the strategy is how do we grow you as the artist? Now let's assume the goals are the purple shapes. The strategy is the path to achieving that goal. The tactics is the actual black shapes. So each black shape is a tactics in the strategy to accomplish a goal. We're going to be focused on creating the path throughout this course. The path, and then I'm going to show you the tactics, the how to actually achieve it. So we're talking a lot about goals. Most artists do not have goals. So I want you guys to take a second and actually think about your goal. Like, what is your goal? What do you want to achieve as an artist? Do you want 1 million streams? Do you want to sell 1,000 records? Do you want to play main stage? Like, what is your goal? Because again, everything builds on top of each other, and having a goal for this course is going to help us structure a strategy to help you achieve that goal. I do this all the time in my agency for artists. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do and how I do it, following the same framework that we're going to be going over. So here's an example of a client of mine. Again, on the agency side, I'm doing the exact same thing that I'm showing you guys right now. This is what I'm going to be teaching you guys throughout the course. So when I go to build an artist, I look at the big picture. I ask them what their goal is. I figure out their goal. So using the same levers that I spoke to you guys earlier, it's the same exact strategy that I use as an agency in order to build any artist or company or brand. First, each levers have a lot of moving pieces. So this is made of both strategy and tactic. They both work hand in hand. Each lever has its own strategy, and each lever also has its own tactics. We're gonna go into each of them because if you wanna grow as an artist, you have to know how to build each of these levers. Now here's a different view of those same strategies, but this time it's laid out linearly. So this happens, then that happens, then this happens. So again, this is going to be the same exact framework we're going to be using to grow you as an artist as well. So depending on your goal, you're going to be able to manipulate this however works best for you. But I'm going to show you guys exactly the strategies and the tactics for each of these levers. So here's the breakdown. We're gonna go through 4 phases, and I'm actually gonna throw in some bonus for you guys. In phase 1, we're gonna cover you and branding. Phase 2, we're gonna cover content creation and distribution. Phase 3, we're gonna go over advertising. Phase 4, we're gonna go over public relations and analytics. And last, I'm gonna throw in some bonus for you guys. I'm gonna show you guys how to use YouTube to get the most out of your music, and also how to automate everything. Again, there's gonna be a Facebook group, music mastery course, for you guys to support each other and engage with each other. So don't forget to join that group. It's gonna be under this video. So before we continue, guys, I actually wanna show you guys a music funnel. There's 3 phases in the music funnel. There's the discovery phase, the consideration phase, and then the purchase phase. Most artists struggle with the discovery phase. And because they don't know how to get discovered or traffic to their music, they tend to not really make it as a musician. But with what I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna show you guys how to drive tons of traffic to your music so you can start getting discovered. After that, we're gonna create a system to help you get considered, get people to actually take notice of you and remember your name. And after that, we're gonna come up with another system to help you start making purchases from your music. And again, we're gonna automate all of this, or I'll show you guys how to automate all of this so you can just sit back and have this run while you're sleeping. Once again, congratulations for investing in yourself, because this is gonna change everything. It's gonna show you the exact steps and techniques and strategies you need to build yourself up as an artist and get tons and tons of streams and get tons and tons of followers on multiple platforms. So let's dive in and let's get into it. So if you're finding value from this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Guess what? Right before coming to record this, I just saw that Spotify picked up 3 of my tracks and put it in the algorithm. So what I'm gonna show you guys actually work. So before I actually go into the steps and how to use each lever, I'm gonna take you through the most critical part of it all. And it's, you are a business. And the reason this is important, because if you don't structure your growth as an artist as a actual business, the chances of you succeeding long term is gonna be very slim. So we're gonna go over all of this in this module right now, and I'm gonna walk you through it step by step on how to actually go about doing this. You guys are a business, and I really want you guys to take this super seriously, because this will set you up for success long term. So the point of me doing this isn't so you guys can get short-term results or short-term success. I want you guys to be able to have a great understanding of marketing, and it all starts with you. So by understanding your role in the music industry, you'll be able to properly plan things so you can execute in the best way possible. First and foremost, I'm gonna take you through a quick business breakdown. So any business, doesn't matter what it is, they need to generate sales to survive. Sales is their oxygen, is how they keep going. So the way they generate sales is usually by getting attention, collecting a lead, and then selling them. So here you'll see advertise, capture, sell. These are the most 3 important tasks for any business. So advertise is basically getting traffic and eyeballs to the business. Once the traffic comes into the business, then the business has some sort of structure to capture the lead. Then when the business had the lead, and that could be their email, phone number, they keep reaching out to the customer in many different ways until that customer purchases a product of theirs, and then they make money as a result. So advertising is grabbing attention, capturing is collecting information, and sell is making offers. So these are the 3 stages that every single company needs in order to survive. So you guys remember the music funnel that I showed you guys earlier, right? So there's 3 stages again. There's discovery, consideration, and purchase. Now, going by the same breakdown as earlier, which the advertise, capture, sell, you can pretty much do the same thing for a musician. Discovery, consideration, purchase. So discovery is traffic, consideration is collecting their information or getting them as a follower. And then there's the purchase phase, which is when they actually become a true fan. So discovery is grabbing attention, consideration is collecting information, and purchasing is making offers. So you can pretty much divide this into 2 sections. You have marketing and then you have sales. Marketing always supersedes sales. So marketing is always above sales. It always comes first. Because if no one knows you, they're not going to be able to purchase from you. So as an independent artist, you need to become a master at marketing. So you need to be able to drive traffic to your music, collect their information or get them as a follower, and then sell them. Or instead of selling them, you can convert them into a true fan. So if you look at it another way, traffic supersedes true fan, because without traffic or without them discovering you, there's no way possible for them to actually become a fan. So basically, as an independent artist, you need attention, because you can't build a fan base or sell a product if no one knows you. So your most important role is to get attention. Is to get attention or drive eyeballs or drive traffic or drive listeners to your music. So there's 2 types of marketing. There's direct marketing and brand marketing. Direct marketing is marketing that relies on direct communication or distribution to individual customers rather than through a third party such as mass media. And the good thing about direct marketing is trackable. And then there's also brand marketing. Brand marketing is basically marketing with the intent of selling something to as many people as possible through mass media. And brand marketing is not trackable. So through this course, we're going to be focused mostly on direct marketing. So brand marketing is basically for huge companies like Nike and McDonald's, because they have a massive budget, and at their stage and their level, they don't really care about direct sales. They're more interested in brand awareness, because at that level, the more people see their ads over and over and over again, the higher the chances of them actually purchasing their product. Now, direct marketing is more for, hey, you see my ad, purchase now. And because direct marketing is trackable, you're able to actually keep record of the progress. Brand marketing, you cannot track, because you can't tell how many people see your billboard on a highway if they're driving by. There's no way possible to actually record that. You can estimate, but there's no way to actually get a concrete number. So because we're focused on direct marketing, we're gonna talk more about offers. Basically, how many people did you ask to listen to or buy your music today? So when it comes to direct marketing, the more offers you make, the higher the chances of you actually converting someone. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put systems in place that's always asking people to either buy our music, listen to our music, or stream our music, or save our music. So we're gonna be automating all of this and putting it to work while we're sleeping, so you don't have to do this manually. But it all comes down to how many people do you ask to buy or listen to your music. The more offers you make, the higher the chances of you converting someone. So as a business, you have the ability to do write-offs. So as an independent artist, you can write off all your expenses. So that's education, software, subscriptions, studio equipment, advertising, marketing, courses. Yes, this course you can write off as an independent artist. I do want to point out that I am not giving you legal advice, so please talk to your attorney or your accountant. They'll be able to go into a lot more details than I would. But if you choose to register yourself as a business entity, then here's a platform that I highly recommend you guys use. So literally you can register yourself as a business within 10 to 30 minutes. So it's really fast, really easy, and this site is very, very credible, and I highly recommend it. So there's going to be a link under this video, so definitely click it and check it out if you choose to register yourself as an entity. You don't have to, but if you choose to, you can. So I want to talk to you guys about growth as an artist. Everything that we do has to have momentum. We have to keep moving forward. It's all about starting and keeping the progress going. If you can figure out how to master this momentum, you can really change your life. Once we get started, we have to keep going. We have to keep using our momentum, because the more momentum we use, the more they're gonna follow and subscribe and like and buy and support us a lot faster and a lot more. So one of the most important things for an independent artist is incremental growth. By incremental growth, I mean small increase and small growth every single day. We never want to go backwards. We always want to go forward, because as long as you're consistent and keep moving forward with momentum, you're going to grow and you're going to blow up. You just have to be consistent. So if you look at this graph right here, you see that the line gradually increases. It compounds over and over and over again until there comes a tipping point where you just explode. Now, what happens is most artists give up halfway, or they give up right before the point of their explosion. Once you give up, you're gonna have to start all over again from square one, because you're gonna lose all your momentum. So you might be asking, so how do you actually do this? So I have a process for this. It's called think, plan, execute. So step one is basically you're gonna think. You're gonna come up with goals. Like, where do you wanna be in X amount of years? Once we figure out the goals, then we can start restructuring a plan to get there. Once the plan is in order, then we can start executing on these plans. This is very, very important to your success, because again, most of the artists I work with, they do not have goals and they're just going in no direction. But the artists that do have goals, they succeed a lot faster because they know exactly where they're going. Now, after the first run with the think, plan, execute process, we have to optimize. So at the end of the process, we look at all the data, and based on that data, we optimize and then do it all over again. And this is how you grow. This is the incremental growth process that I was telling you about. So you think and come up with goals, you plan how you're gonna get there, and then you start working towards it. And then as you're moving towards it, you're gonna be getting a lot of feedback and data and information. So then you go back, optimize based off the feedback and information that you do get, and then do it all over again. And then you're just gonna keep improving, and then you're gonna get to that tipping point where everything just explodes and you take off. All right, guys, so I hope you see how important it is to treat yourself as a business, because it is vital to your success. I work with tons and tons of artists, and majority of them do not treat themselves as a business, and as a result, they fail. So hopefully you guys take this serious and move with conviction, because what I'm going to show you guys next is going to set you guys up for success. All right, so see you guys in the next video. So here's the deal. This is only part one of my music mastery course. If you want me to release part two, then let's get this video to 1,000 comments. If we get to 1,000 comments, then I'll release part two. All right, guys, so before we get into it, I want to show you guys one more thing. We're going to talk about the role of a record label, because if you're going to go into the music game and try to do it yourself, you got to understand all the responsibilities and roles that you're going to be taking on yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and play a video real quick of myself going over the role of record label, and then we're going to go into it in a little bit more details afterwards. So let's jump right into it. So the three main roles of a record label is to handle distribution, legal, and payout. So the way it used to go is record labels would distribute music, distribute an artist's music to fans. Once the fans get the music, they will purchase it from the record label. So the record label gets the money, and then the label pays out the artist whatever is remaining from the deal. However, it's still like that. It was like that in the past and it's still like that now. However, the advantage of now is now artists have the power to go to distribution services directly. So an artist can send their music directly to a distribution service. So DistroKid, CD Baby, any sort of online distribution service. Once they send the record to the distribution service sends it to the fans. Once the fans purchase, the artist makes all the money. So before the record label, they would send it directly to the fans, and the fans would pay the label, who would then pay the artist. But now the artist can just go straight to the fans directly. So this really eliminates the record label. So technically now you don't even need a record label to start making a lot of money from your music. The only reason for record labels is because of distribution, legal, and payout. Have you guys ever heard of a one-hit wonder? A one-hit wonder is when an artist goes to a label, and the label who has all the distribution, the label is able to distribute the music to fans. But once the label cuts off the artist no longer has the ability to get his music in front of that many people. So the artist is a one-hit wonder. So to avoid that, you start building your distribution list yourself. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that with SoundCloud, Spotify, and Facebook. So we're going to jump right in right now. All right, so a record label pretty much has a few roles. Their job is to distribute and market your music. So by marketing, their goal is to get your music in front of their audience. Record labels usually have huge audiences, which is why so many artists gravitate towards them. Because if you get signed to a record label, when they put out your music or release your music, it's going to be released to their entire audience. So that's really the point of a record label. A record label is also supposed to sell your music because that's how they make money and that's how the artist makes money. So these are just some examples of how a record label makes income. They make money from your success. So they sign on artists with the hope of making income or making revenue or profit from the artist over time. So their goal as a label is to make income. So some of their income streams are sales, which is selling your music, streams from platforms like Spotify, licensing, which basically licensing is when you get your song picked for a commercial. That company that picks your song or licenses your song will pay you or the label. There's performances, and there's selling merchandises, which is hats and t-shirts. There's promoting shows, doing tours and festivals. There's many, many more ways a record labels can make money, but this is some of the top ways they make money. And again, the more popular the artist is, the more money they are more likely to make. So I know I've been talking about record labels a lot, but I do want to mention that running a record label is not easy. It's actually very, very hard because you have to grow an artist. You have to find artists, find undiscovered talent, and then grow them. So growing an artist isn't easy and costs money. This is why labels keep majority of the money that they do make, because they only really make money from the artist if the artist sells. However, if the artist does have a name for themselves and is somewhat established, they would pay the artist a advance. So some artists get very lucky and can get a really big advance from record labels. It really depends on the size of the label. So I want to go over this as well. This is how the income is divided when it comes to labels and artists and distribution platforms. The record label normally keeps 63% of the income. The distributor normally gets around 24, 25%. And then the artist gets around 13 to 15%. And again, the artist may have multiple artists, so it could be a band, and then they have to split that income. So if you're in a duo or if you're not solo, you'd have to split that income to everyone else. So if you have like a manager and all that, they have to take portion of the income as well. And again, the record label has a lot of expenses, so they do keep majority of the money. However, now an artist can do this on their own and take about 70% of the income, and 30% will go to the distribution platforms or the platforms that sell the music on them directly, such as Amazon or iTunes. So yes, you can choose a record label and get more exposure through their distribution, or you could do it independently and make more income from it. So on the right side of the screen, this is pretty much the roles and the positions inside of a record label. You have the president, you have vice president, you have the marketing department, the arts development, you have A&R, you have sales, there's media departments. There's just so much that goes on inside of a record label that if you do decide to do this on your own, you're pretty much wearing the hats of all of these people. So you are technically the record label if you choose to do this independently. So now you are wearing all the hats of everyone who's supposed to be on your team. So you're now the president and vice president and the legals and artist development and the marketer and promotions and the media person for yourself. So I just want to go over why I believe that you should be selling your own music. One of the biggest reasons for selling your own music is that you make more income. You also have control of when, where, and how to release your music. You have complete creative control of your music. And you also have the ability to release as frequent as you want. There's no contracts gonna be involved. For example, when I did sign my music to a lot of labels, a lot of them pushed the release date out for months later. Literally right now, I have signed my music to a label and they pushed it out 5 months, the release out 5 months from now. So as the artist, that delays me and slows me down a lot. So if you're like me, speed is everything. Like, I really want to release as much music as possible, as fast as possible. So speed is very important to me, which is why I personally have been releasing a lot of my music independently. So there was another time where I did sign my music to a label and they locked me into a contract where I had to send them my 3 next releases before I could send to any other label. So you can just imagine this. You might have a really big label who wants your music, but you can't send it to that big label because you're in a contract and this other label wants it first. So a big pro is that by doing it independently, there's no contract. You have speed on your side, meaning you can release as frequently as you want. You make a lot more income from your music and you have full creative control of your release. Now the cons are, it's a ton of work. It takes a lot of time. So you won't have the team to back you up. So you don't have any team or their network to push your music. You won't be able to tap into anyone else's distribution. So because you don't have a team and you don't have a distribution list, you'll have to rely on your own network. And on top of that, you'll have to rely on your own marketing and sales skills. This is why it's very important as an independent artist to be a master at marketing. You have to master marketing if you want to push your music and get discovered. So these are the pros and cons. There's probably a lot more, but these are the pros and cons that I think are the most important. And yeah, this is why I believe you should sell your music. All right, guys, so I hope this makes sense. Just know that by being an independent artist, you are technically taking on all the roles of a record label. However, as you saw, there's a lot of pros and cons to this. So by being an independent artist, you need to be mentally prepared for the journey. Otherwise, you have to start building a team that can help support you in all these areas. You can have your friends, families, parents, help you with growing yourself as an artist. So just want to show you guys this because being an independent artist isn't easy. You're wearing a lot of hats and there's going to be a lot of up and downs. Again, you're playing the role of the record label by choosing to do this on your own. But throughout this course, I'm going to show you guys exactly what to do, how to build yourself as a brand, how to build yourself as an artist, and how to actually market yourself and your music on all of these platforms. So get ready for the next video because we're gonna jump into branding. So far, I'm sure you guys are getting tons of value from this. So again, if you want me to drop part 2 of this music mastery course, then drop a comment below because the target is 1,000 comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because the more people subscribe and like the video and leave comments, the more people can see the video and the more people will get value in helping their music career grow. What's up, guys? So we're about to jump into branding. A lot of artists don't really know how to effectively use their brand to generate followers and generate listeners or subscribers. So I'm gonna walk you guys through exactly how to do that in this module. So you'll know exactly what to put where, how to structure your profile, how to structure your bio, how to do everything to put you in the best position to capitalize on your brand. Before moving on to any of the actual strategies and tactics for music marketing, this is one of the key components in your success. If you do not have your brand structure right, you're not going to be able to grow as fast as you would like. So by taking care of your brand first, you're going to be able to capture more leads, capture more listeners, subscribers, and like people will want to know more about you, and it makes you seem a lot more credible. So by having a powerful brand, you're going to be able to maximize your speed and your growth as an artist. So let's get right into it. The funny thing is, a lot of artists don't think branding is important, but really, if you look at a lot of the top artists in any genre, majority of the time, their branding is on point. And again, because they're at their level, they probably have a team handling their brand. But as an artist, your brand is crazy important for your growth. So your brand is like a person. It has a name, it has a look, it has a voice, it has values, and it has reputation. Having a brand is the fastest way to grow and convert followers to fans. Again, look at anyone and you'll see that they have a face, they have a voice or a message, they represent something, so they have value, and you know their name, right? And as a result, the full picture is they have a reputation. So really, your brand is supposed to represent you as an artist. I have 4 examples here. The first one is Tale of Us. You can see that they have a brand, they have a color scheme, they have a style or vibe in their photos. And as artists, they are very, very popular in the space. So the second artist is Local Dice. He also has a color scheme going for himself. And a lot of his photos is of himself doing something fashionable. And other than that, a lot of his other content has a lot of crazy shapes and faces and just things to entertain his fan base. If you look at Drake again, he has a color scheme, so he has a brand. Nike, they have a brand as well. Their brand is more athletic, and their color scheme is the skin color or skin tones are popping on most of their athletes. So Nike does a lot of video content. That's because they want to show people actually using their product. So now there's this concept that I call stickiness. Basically, you want to be able to answer how sticky is your brand. A lot of things we're going to go through in music marketing is basically a funnel format. So if you were to put your brand in a funnel, it's supposed to grab someone's attention, then keep their attention, and then convert the attention. And this is why you aren't growing as fast as you'd like, because your brand probably doesn't capture someone's attention. And because it doesn't capture someone's attention, they're bouncing. Like, you have a very high bounce rate when it comes to your brand. This is why it's so important to always release or put out content that is top quality, because once you grab someone's attention, the next thing is you have to keep their attention. So once you grab their attention and keep their attention, they're gonna wanna know more about you. So this is when they become followers and become fans. So that's what converting attention is. And once you have them as a fan, you're gonna be able to reach out to them as many times as you want, or they'll just want to hear more from you more frequent and more often. So they would make it a habit to stay up to date with what you're doing as well. So here's another concept I would like to talk to you guys about. It's called the VRIN score. Whenever you're putting out content, you want it to have a high VRIN score. Basically what VRIN stands for is the V is value. What does your audience value most about you? Whatever they like or value the most about you, that's the kind of content you need to be putting out. When you do put out content, how rare is it? Like, is it unique? Your content is competing against a lot of other artists' content out there. So does your content stand out? Does it capture someone's attention? When someone's scrolling through their feed, you're competing against babies, cats, dogs. So your content needs to stand out. The third one is, can it be replicated by your competitors? If it's a piece of content that a lot of other people can do, then the chances of you standing out or grabbing that attention is not going to be as high as possible. So you want to be able to put out content that's not easily replicated. And that goes with anything. That goes with posts, that goes with the type of music you create. It has to be unique and not easily replicated. Usually artists make a name for themselves because they have either a unique sound that not a lot of other people are doing, or it's just something that's not easily produced. And people appreciate the fact that these are difficult sounds to actually create in a song. And then number 4 is non-substitutable. Is your content substitutable, and is it important to your audience? The reason people grow as fast as they can on social media is because a lot of the times their content is unique and it's not easily replicated. For an artist, that could be a unique animation to your song. That can be a photo with a celebrity. That can be you doing video walkthroughs of how you actually make your song. There's lots of content that you can actually put out that is not substitutable. It's not easy for other people to create. And what you want to do is you want to scale all of these on 1 to 10. On the scale of 1 to 10, you do not want to release any sort of content that is less than a 5. Because if it's less than a 5, then the chances of someone actually liking it and it getting a lot of engagement isn't going to be that high. So you want to stay around the 7, 8, 9 range for when you are producing content. And all you have to do is you give each of these a number from a scale of 1 to 10, and then you just average it out. So next I want to talk about your profile photo. So a lot of artists do not put their faces in their profile photo. What you want to do is you want to have a clear image of your face. So as you can see, these artists on the left, their icon photo or their profile photo is a clear image of their face. So if you don't have a clear image of your face in your profile photo, that's something you should put there, because people want to know who you are. They want to see your face. They want to connect the sound to a person. So if you have not done this yet, go ahead and go do that right now. Next is brands. So brands could be a company, it could be a record label, it could be events, it could be anything. So a lot of brands do not have faces, so it's okay to use a logo or a symbol. For a brand, I would not recommend using a logo or symbol or anything other than your face for your personal profile photos, but for a brand, it's okay. So I do want to talk about representation. A lot of the times, if you can think of a brand or person, you associate that brand with a person. So if I say Tesla, you're gonna think of Elon Musk. If I say Amazon, you're gonna think of Jeff Bezos. So times are changing now, and people like to connect to brands that have faces behind it. So the reason this is important to you as an artist is because if you do own a record label, you want people to connect you to your record label, and vice versa. If you do own a record label and you are signing artists, your record label will grow a lot faster if people associate that artist to your record label. It's just called representation, and it's a way for people to connect a person to an actual brand. So this is a very good strategy for growth, because the faster you grow, the faster your brand will go. So next, I want to go over a cover photo. Cover photo is another great place to put your face. A lot of artists, they do not have their face in their cover photo. So again, it makes it hard for people to connect or associate you with your sound. So I recommend putting your face in your cover photos because sometimes platforms don't show your profile photo and they only show your cover photo, such as Spotify. Spotify does not show your profile photo when you're on the artist page. It only shows your cover photo. So by having your face in your cover photo on Spotify and all the other platforms, people are going to be able to associate you with that sound. So if you look here, Black Coffee on all three of his platforms, Facebook, SoundCloud, Spotify, he has his face in it. Same as Wiz Khalifa. He has his face in his cover photo on all platforms. And myself, I have my face in my cover photos as well on all the platforms. So here's something I think is really cool that SoundCloud does now that not a lot of artists know about. You can do it through Repost by SoundCloud, and Repost by SoundCloud is basically the distribution platform that SoundCloud owns. And what you can do, it's called banner click-through and featured profiles. So I'll show you what that is right now. And you can also add a photo to the background of your track. So I think this is really cool. Let me show you an example. So if I go to this track, you can see that his track has a track art. So let's go to his profile. So if you look at every other song on his profile, they don't have cover arts. But if you look at this track, it has a cover art in the back of his track. So it makes his song stand out. And this would be a good way to get attention when it comes to using SoundCloud as a platform. And you set that up through Repost by SoundCloud. Another cool thing is you could do featured profile. So if you're a record label, you can put your artist profiles here. Or if you're an artist, you can put your label profiles here. Or you can put the profiles of your friends there as well. So you can drive traffic to each other. Another thing I think is really, really dope that literally no one does is called banner click-through. And basically what that is, it turns your banner into a clickable link. So if I click this banner, it takes me to whatever link he had there, which was his Facebook profile. So it took me to his Facebook profile. So you can imagine if you had a new track that's being released and you had a clickable link to it in your cover photo, you can drive so much traffic to go purchase that track. You can even drive so much traffic to your Instagram profile if you put your Instagram profile there. A quick tip is if you put your Instagram handle on your cover photo, it would immediately tell people exactly where to find you. But if you can make your banner photo clickable and drive traffic to your Instagram, I think that's a crazy ninja hack that not a lot of artists knows how to do. So next, let's go over your bio. Your bio doesn't have to be long. It could be short as well. But there's a couple of components that you want to include in your bio. And they are who you are, what you do, your accomplishments, your supporters, why you are different, your vision, and upcoming events. So in your bio, you should definitely include all of this. And here's an example of one to the left. But again, yours could be short. It could be just a top paragraph as long as it's hitting some of these bullet points. And you want to make sure your bio is consistent across all your platforms. You don't want to have one bio here that's different from another bio here. Your bio should be the same across all your platforms. So why is all this important? This is all really important because it creates a story around you. And literally the only thing that separates you from everyone else is your story. Not to sound harsh, but none of us are unique. There's always someone who can do exactly what we do. But what separates you from all the other artists out there is your story. So by having a powerful brand and by having all your bios and your links and everything in order, it tells a story around you. Now, talking about links, your links is one of the most important part of your social media. because the link is where you're gonna drive all your traffic. If you were to land on an artist profile and there was no way to contact him or no link to find out more about this person, then basically what's the point of even having a social media? Going back to the funnel, you want to be able to drive as much people to a specific place as possible, depending on what your goals are. If you want to make more sales, you drive people to your links to purchase your track. If you want to get more followers, you drive people to those profiles. So depending on your goals and objective, you want to be able to use your links strategically to drive attention. Now, if you look here on my Spotify, I have my Instagram and Facebook, and that's because I want to drive people from my Spotify to those platforms. On my Instagram, I have a link that has all my other profiles so people can listen to my music or check me out in other places as well. In the highlights on my Instagram profile, I have my Spotify, SoundCloud, and Beatport links. And the reason I have it there is because I have swipe ups in those going to all these platforms. So if people click on the Spotify and swipe up, it brings them to my Spotify profile. If they click on SoundCloud, swipe up brings them to SoundCloud. Same as Beatport. So make sure you're strategically using all your links properly, and make sure you're using your swipe up feature if you have over 10K correctly as well. Now for the SoundCloud tracks, what's awesome about the actual track on SoundCloud is you can add a link to all of your songs. So you could put a free download, or you can put a buy now link. So whenever someone does land on your song, they can be driven to that place. You can even use your captions on Instagram to drive traffic to a specific location. As you see, I drove traffic to the link in my bio, which was promoting my song Forbidden Truth at the moment. So you just want to make sure you're strategically using all the links properly to achieve whatever your objective is. So next I want to talk about press kit. A press kit is important because it has all your links and information on one or two sheets. So I'm actually going to show you guys how to build a press kit, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how I do it to show you that it's actually not that hard. You don't have to spend any money at all to create one of these. We're just going to hack what's available online right now to help us create our own. So I'm going to show you guys the exact process I did to create my press kit. So basically the first thing I did is I need to first generate ideas and figure out how I want my press kit to actually look. So what I did was I went to Google, and I went to Google Images and found some press kits that I can use as a reference. So I found a press kit that I liked, and then I cut it and pasted it into Canva. The reason I paste into Canva is because we're gonna use it as an outline to build the press kit. You never want to recreate something on your own if you can just find resources or find references to use as an example. So I'm gonna be using this as a reference. So basically what you do is you just build on top of it. So for example, I'll do a square there, a square there, a square here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, you're just using it as a reference. And then you add some, say add a line, zigzag. And again right here, right? And then you just add text, and then you just build on top of it. Exactly the placement that he has his text, you will put the exact same placement in Canva. And then when you're done, you just delete the background image, and then you have whatever you just built. Now, this is exactly what I did to build my press kit. And let me zoom in so you can see. So this is exactly what I did to build my press kit. I just used his as an example. As you see, I just literally just copied exactly what he had, but put my own twist on it. I put all my links to my social media account. I put all the links to my music. I put a DJ info. Feel free to copy this and take it and recreate it as your own. But you can go in and you can literally just use references. Find other people's press kits that is already made that you like and just literally recreate it. I'm gonna actually leave a link below this video to this that should be able to give you guys access to it so you can scroll through it and see it on your own. I'm using Canva to edit everything. So if you don't have Canva, you definitely need to get it. It is definitely worth it and it's free. Now there's two types of press kits. There's the vertical one and then there's a horizontal one. A lot of people feel that a press kit should be a one-sheeter, and just to give you guys an example of how that did, I literally did the same process I just told you guys. I found a reference and I just copied the information over from my first press kit that I created and I just added it in and just moved things around to make it look good. So it's the same concept. And we're gonna go over why this is important and why you should have one, because we're gonna use it later on to get in front of blogs, get in front of people who write articles, try to get some press releases on us. So definitely go ahead and make one of these because we're gonna be using it later on. Now, the last thing I wanna show you guys is how to add links to your PDF. So first thing you do is you have to download it as a PDF format. So now I'm gonna add links to my press kit. So the site I use is PDF Escape. So you just drag your image or you drag your PDF. So on the left hand side, you click where it says links. You then drag over the spot that you want the link to be, and then you put in your Instagram. Then you type in the website for the link, right? So now that is a clickable link. And then you just do that to everything else. You drag over the Facebook symbol, and then you add Facebook. And then you just do that for all your link. And then when you're done, you just download and export it, and you'll have now a PDF with all your information on it with clickable links. So anytime someone looks at it, they can click on your SoundCloud, your Instagram, your Spotify. They could click on any links that you have on your press kit. Another thing I recommend you guys having is a Google Drive folder titled Press Kit that has all your photos, all your music, and your bio. So when someone clicks on the photo, they get to see all your photos, your logo. It has everything in there that you need. And then if they click on music, it has all your music as well, so they can download it wherever you like. Which is why I have on my press kit, I have all music. So I link this over here to my Google Drive. So I'll put in my Google Drive link right here, and anytime someone clicks that, it takes them to my Google Drive folder that has all my music. So I'm covering all my bases. It will have all my MP3s, all my WAV files, and all the links to my social media profiles. All right, guys, so I hope that was helpful. And what I want you guys to do before the next video is create a press kit, and create a press kit as well as update all your profile photos, your banners, your cover photos. Update it all, put all the links in the right places. Make sure your profile setup is good, because we're gonna be driving a lot of traffic to all your profiles. So it needs to look like you're a serious artist. So when someone does land on your page, they will stick and they will stay on your page. So if you haven't already, go and update all your profiles online, and also create a press kit, and share your press kit in the Facebook group, and people will give you some feedback on it, what to add, what to take out. So definitely go share it so people can see and provide some feedback. All right, so looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with, and I will see you in the next video. All right, so I'm throwing a lot of value out there right now. So if you're confused at all, then go and shoot me a message on Instagram. Just send me a DM, and I'll respond to any of your questions that you have. So definitely go send me a message or a DM if you have any questions.